All right. How is this any better? Can you hear me now, Digi? Okay. Three, two, one, one, two, three. Did you hear me now? All right. All right. Well, I guess I'll just start this over. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just wonder what is it about weekends? When people get off work on Friday, when they get home Friday afternoon, the people that work the normal jobs, the 9 to 5ers, and they get home, and even the people that work the evening jobs, and they get home, do they take their brains out and set them in a jar and put them up on a shelf someplace? The next to that jar that contains their brain, they got another jar that puts their common sense. Because you have to understand, I know some pretty smart people with no common sense. And I know some people with common sense are dumber than a box of rocks. And then in a teeny tiny little jar, or maybe a matchbox, for those of us old enough to remember what matchboxes actually look like, they put their manners. So when they leave the house Friday afternoon, Friday evening after they've worked, and they go out in public for the weekend, their brains, their common sense, and their manners are left back home. Now, I understand, I've been saying for years, when people come on vacation, they do that. Especially their common sense and their manners. But do they leave the, I mean, I've seen some of the most idiotic people this weekend. And I'm not talking about the stuff you see online that's curated and, videos picked through and such, maybe 2, 3, 4 years old or even 5 years old. I'm talking about walking into Walmart, going out to a park and seeing people do the dumbest stuff they've ever done. The dumbest stuff you can imagine somebody doing. One lady's got her dog on a leash. And it's one of those nice retractable leashes, which, hey, I'm a big fan of retractable leashes. I am a huge fan of these 20-foot retractable leashes. Because that way, when I walk my dog down the road and he wants to go over and sniff a light pole, he can go sniff that light pole, and I don't have to walk over and be standing next to him while he's doing it.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Let her watch her television.
Good morning.
Good morning, Raman.
You can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. But I'm a big fan of those.
Oh hell! I can wait on our music again. Let me see.
But
there we go.
These women, this woman and her retractable leash. I've got my dog with me, and this is Can you hear me, Raman?
Yes, and I hate retractable leashes. They're such bullshit.
Oh.
People use them to practically let their dogs loose at that point.
Well, I've got I made my own leash for my dog, for Spanky. I made my own leash.
Okay.
I took a standard dog leash, and then I wove using parachute cording another about 25, 30 foot.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
that's because when I'm walking him up and down the road, I don't, I mean, I usually can control him how far, or if I'm sitting back when our fence was torn down after the hurricane, I could sit out in the front and let him run and still be on a leash. Let him
Okay.
run some distance while still being on a leash. But this woman with her retractable leash, I'm pulling Spanky up to where he's right there next to me, and she's got this little Shih Tzu, and it's yipping, yapping, yawping. And why people let their dog go up to a perfectly strange dog
no
that
idea.
they don't know the first thing about. This little Shih Tzu come up and nipped at Spanky.
Oh, hell no. Do they know Spanky is part demon?
She found out.
Oh, shit.
She found out. Because Spanky, and then even worse, it nipped at Spanky's tail. Now, some dogs have got areas of their body they're very protective of, or very sensitive about. And with Spanky, it's his tail.
Right.
Very sensitive about his tail for some reason.
Thank you, sweetheart.
He's been that way, but you're more than welcome.
Oh no, I was getting my daughter's bringing me water for coffee.
But he's been that way since we got him from the animal rescue.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I mean,
Spanky's a rescue?
Yeah, Spanky's a rescue. And we've had him, I mean, now we've had him for probably close to, 15, 16 years, if not longer.
Yeah.
But he is like Bandit, our first dog, was a foundling, and he was sensitive about his paws.
Yeah.
Spanky is sensitive about his tail. I don't even touch his tail.
Okay.
Because he will sit there and give you the evil eye and bare his teeth at me.
Right.
Okay.
Ooh.
Anybody else will growl at them if they touch his tail. And my grandchildren have learned, do not touch Spanky's tail. You can pull on his ears, you can tug any place else. Don't touch his tail.
Right.
Well, this little Shih Tzu nipped at his tail.
Oh, hell, there we go.
And Spanky damn near tore its ear off.
Good. And then the woman complained.
Oh, yeah. She wanted to, her little Shih Tzu, how dare you, da-da-da-da-da. Spanky is 4 feet from me. You're the one that let your dog come up to my dog. I told you not to. I told you to keep, I yelled at her to keep her dog away from mine. Oh, he's just fine. He just wants to see your dog. My dog is friendly. My dog isn't.
Well, he can see him a few feet away. He doesn't need to get up all in his business to see him.
You know how dogs like to sniff other dogs' butts.
In elementary school, we had this little saying, someone would bring some new thing in, and everybody would be like, oh, can I see it? And they would hold it up in the air. And, the person would be like, oh, just let me, hold it so I get better. And they're like, see with your eyes, not with your hands. You don't need to see somebody be going all up in their shit, man. That's a good way to die. Anyway.
But yeah, Digi, you're right. Sometimes those retractable leashes are comedy value. Now, I was a fan of it when Robert was little. When my son was little. I never
liked them because they would use those retractable leashes to let their dog run at my kids.
Right.
Which is not fun.
Oh, see, I kept my son on a leash. I'd hook it through his belt loop. My wife didn't like it, but it was a great way to control them.
Therapy. So she wasn't really so scared of dogs anymore. And she'd sit and pet them and everything. She had a great time with the therapy. Within 6 months, those fuckers ruined all the therapy my daughter did through. Years of fucking, So I got sick of it. So I called the local sheriff's department. Said, listen, these dog people are letting them either on the retractable leashes or just letting them loose. And letting them chase my daughter all over the busy parking lot. And people don't observe the speed limits in the parking lot. But what can I do to these dogs legally to keep them from chasing my kid? And he said, pepper spray. I said, thank you. Then I called management and told them anybody else would six their dog on my kid, and that dog's going to get a face full of pepper spray because I already talked to the sheriff's office. Next thing you know, they're putting up signs. After not wanting to be involved and claiming the cameras didn't work, I was like, well, check the cameras. They're on there chasing my kids. They started putting up signs, pest control is treated launch. Please don't let your animals loose, or they could end up eating the bait.
Right.
Bullshit.
It's just a way to keep the neighbors from letting their dogs run loose.
Yeah. The neighbors would be going to them, their dog, and I'm going, yip, 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 all the way back to the apartment. Yeah. They were letting their dogs loose, and the dogs were just peeing all over the halls. They'd be standing on the landing with one of the other neighbors, and they're hanging out, little ladies chatting and laughing and having a good time. Meanwhile, their dogs are just running up, peeing all over the building, the carpeting, everything, all over the damn building.
Our security system last week was going off one night, and we couldn't figure out why, because, it was the front door security system, which normally doesn't go off unless someone's out there.
Yeah.
And Spanky was in the house. Wife is in the house. I'm in the house. We don't see what's going on. So the wife goes out to take a look to see, if there was some birds flying around out there, setting it off, because sometimes that could do it. And the neighbor's dog had dug a hole under the fence and got in our yard.
Oh, my God.
And it took all five of us almost an hour to catch their dog.
Is that fast?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was a fairly young dog.
Chasing a chicken?
It was a fairly young dog, about a year and a half old. So he just thought it was a new game.
Oh, no.
And, he'd go running up to you. You'd be calling him, he'd go running up to you and then stop and shake his head and turn around and bounce off at a different angle. He just thought it was, he was getting a lot of playtime in. They only caught him because he got tired.
Yeah, that's kind of like having kids.
But I just say, this weekend, Walmart, at Target, at the park. People I've never seen short of, now spring break, I expect to see it.
Right.
Thunder Beach, biker weekends, I expect to see it.
See what?
A bunch of idiots.
Oh, that's everywhere all the time.
Ill-mannered, no common sense, no brains. Okay? But just a normal weekend. And it's not, it's not a tourist weekend. And the wife and I went downtown, and just the people, the neighbor with her stupid dog, biting at Spanky, neighbor lady, and then it's been a weekend, and then the people, the wife and I had somebody, the wife parked her car dead square center in the parking spot, and the people that pulled up on her right hand side on the driver's side parked with their front tires into her spot. With the passenger tires into her spot. So when we come out, she had to crawl in through the driver's side to get to the driver's seat. She had to come in through the passenger side to get into the driver's seat so that she could start the car.
Yeah.
Now, if she would have let me, because these people had, if she would have let me, I would have taken tie straps, and I'd gotten a bunch of shopping carts and tie strapped to her rear view mirrors.
Okay.
You want to be an idiot? I'll show you idiot. You want to cause some issues? I'll show you some issues. You know, put a note, you know, park inside your, you know, just like colorings, park inside the lines. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, that's just the way my weekend went. It was just one thing after another. But the wife got all of the kids and grandkids' Christmas presents wrapped.
Oh, nice. I usually do it about 2 a.m. on Christmas Day, so.
Well, she started Saturday afternoon and she finished up yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
So our kitchen was nothing but wrapping paper for a day and a half. But it all got done. And she sat there and she goes, "Oh my God, did we really spend?" And I said, "Dear, I told you." Because, you know, throughout the year, this would be nice. You know, $5, $6, $7 stuff for the grandkids, you know. And, you know, just buy it and and she puts it in a box in the back in the diva den. And then, you know, comes birthdays or Christmas, you know, she peels out and finds something inside the box to give to them for the birthday. Well, come Christmas time, she empties the box and gives them everything that's still in the box. Oh. Just from us, these kids got over 20 gifts.
Yeah, that's how it's starting to look.
Between the two of us.
They're going to get one big one and two small ones each, and I've lost count by the time Christmas Eve comes. I do know I'm very sad because I didn't get my Roomba and they said it was delivered.
So the neighbors got it?
I don't know who got it. Because the minute my phone pinged, I sent boy downstairs to check the mailbox area and the hall. He's like, "I checked the mailbox and the hall and it's nowhere." I was like,
Yeah, reported stolen.
I wanted one reported as undelivered.
Yeah,
because if the neighbors take it, they won't replace it if the neighbors take it.
They won't replace it if it's been porch pirated?
No, but you know, it wasn't here though at all. I sent my son out immediately. Like he had his shoes on and was running out the door. So if somebody had taken it, he'd have seen them going down the hall with a package in their hands.
Okay.
Yeah, so they missed. That happens a lot though. I just ordered a pizza the other night, and my gated community is actually pretty well known to the pizza guys. This was a new guy. He called me like 5 times trying to figure out where I was. So.
Well, now see, we had pizza Saturday night for dinner. Yeah, Saturday night. But then we use frozen pizzas, but I use my pizza oven to make them in, so I don't worry about. That pizza oven is paid for itself by us buying, even using frozen pizzas. That little $80 pizza oven's more than paid for itself.
That's gonna be my next big thing. Anyway, I've been saying, we haven't had Domino's in months because I've been cooking more, and they've been bragging about their mac and cheese. It's not great. It's not worth it, honestly.
No, no. Mac and cheese is on my menu for this week. I'm going to make Teeny's mac and cheese.
Oh, okay.
I've got all the rest items needed, all 5 types of cheeses,
Yeah.
and
I
I'm
ordered.
going.
Yeah, I
So
love mac and cheese.
so I'm going to make this up this week. But last night I made up about 60 meatballs a few months ago.
Ooh,
And last night took out 10 of them and put in some marinara sauce and warmed them up real slow and had meatball subs.
nice.
I forgot how good of meatballs those were because it's been a couple of months since we've had any of them. I forgot how good meatballs can actually be when you make them from scratch.
Yeah.
Then pan fry them and then throw them in the oven to bake off. Oh
No,
Lord!
we go pan fry them and throw them in the pot with the sauce. So.
Oh no! I bake them off in the oven, then let them cool down and freeze them. Except for the ones that I'm actually going to eat that night. And then when I pull them out of the freezer, then I put them into the sauce and bring them up to temperature.
Yeah. I got some meatballs I'm gonna do that with just so I can have subs with it. I bought the Italian bread, the sesame seeds. We're gonna pan fry that and make subs with it. Oh my god, yeah. Well, I made short ribs last week, but when I ordered the ribs, they replaced one pack of the ribs with a rack of spare ribs. So
Oh, I hate that.
it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and make those spare ribs this week with some mac and cheese, which I said I've been gonna do for a while. So it all works out.
I'm gonna make some. I've got a recipe I want to try. You as a Dr Pepper ribs, Dr Pepper
Ew.
marinated ribs, and I'm
That
going to
one's
try.
kind of iffy.
I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah.
I've got some ribs that I've got cut up and in the freezers. Well, they're out thawing now, but they'll go in. But well, I tell you what, poor George stepped on all of us in ABC News. How'd you hear like that news this weekend?
I didn't see it. What happened?
All right, a few months ago, months and months and months ago,
Uh-oh.
ABC George Stephanopoulos kept insisting that Donald Trump was found guilty of rape
Ugh.
when he wasn't.
Right.
Okay, the civilian trial, and though I think he was talking to Nancy Mace. And he's asking her, how in the hell can you support a man who's been found guilty of rape? And he said that over and over and over to her. Well, unfortunately for him, though, Trump wasn't found guilty of rape. He was found in that New York trial for that one special law that was written specifically to get him over E. Jean Carroll. He was found guilty of sexual assault.
Right.
There is a difference between rape and sexual assault. Sexual assault can be slapping someone on the butt or grabbing a boob. Rape is a very specific charge, a very specific item, which he was not found guilty of. So Trump decided to sue George Stephanopoulos. And I've called him that ever since he worked for Bill Clinton. Okay. I refuse to pronounce his name correctly. I'm going to call him George Stephanopoulos. All right, and ABC sued him for defamation. And just before.
ABC sued you?
No, Trump sued ABC.
Oh, okay.
And George Stephanopoulos for defamation. And just before they're getting ready to depose Trump, ABC and George Stephanopoulos settled. $15 million settlement. Well, actually, 16. It's a $16 million settlement. $15 million of it has to go to Trump's presidential library.
Nice.
And $1 million of it goes to Trump's lawyers.
Oh, yeah.
That's why when you read the headlines all say $15 million settlement. But they keep believing that's because they don't add in the $1 million towards Trump's lawyers.
Right.
So, and all total is $16 million.
Gotta be careful what you lie about.
I mean, I like it. I like the fact that ABC got nabbed in the thing about this.
Yeah.
But you see, MSNBC and CBS and the rest of the and they also have to post an editor's note to the website expressing regret over Stephanopoulos' March segment on his This Week program. Okay, so they've got to express consent to it, or express regret for what Georgie said.
Of course.
Well, MSNBC, a lot of the networks had some, the less than pleasant things to say about it. Some of them are saying, well, all this is going to do now is make everybody leery of covering Trump.
No, it'll make them use correct terminology, though.
Well, it should make everybody leery of covering Trump.
Him a felon, and nobody's sued for that. So I think they'll be happy to still cover him.
Did you? You know, I wouldn't call him a reporter. I wouldn't even call him an actor. He's a partisan hack.
Personality.
He went straight from Bill Clinton's War Room to ABC's Meet the Press when Tim Russert retired. And that's now Tim Russert. I had my own problems with Tim Russert, but he was for the most part, one of the most fair Sunday morning show hosts there was out there. I watched him for a lot of years. And like I said, I had my own problems with Tim, but he did a good job for the most part. I say 75% of the time. Anytime you can say a commentary news show host is fair 75% of the time, then you've got a good show host, in my opinion. And that was Tim Russert. A lot of people still bash Walter Cronkite. And Cronkite had his problems. And it was Cronkite's fault that we pulled out of Vietnam when we did. Okay, because he totally misrepresented what happened at the end of the Tet Offensive. He got his facts totally wrong. But he did. He said, then he turned around and said what he said. And as Johnson said, once we've lost Cronkite, we've lost America. Because remember, that's back in the days of you only had 3 networks, ABC, NBC, CBS. There was no CNN or anybody else. You had the 3 evening news networks, and Walter Cronkite was Uncle Walter to the world. And that's the way it is. March 4th, 1973. I'd take off his horn-rimmed glasses as he was saying that. I think he was still on in 73, but anyway. So once you lost him, you lost America. And he was the person who was mostly watched for the evening news. But one of the things that popped up, though, is, the legal analysts are afraid now that all the networks are going to be more cautious in what they say about Trump. They should be cautious what they say about anybody. They should make certain they've got their facts right. Look what they did to that kid who ended up suing everybody, CNN and everybody else Nick Sandmann, thank you, for undisclosed amounts. Because they all jumped the gun and ended up lying about what he said, about what happened. The kid with the smirk wearing a MAGA hat. That alone right there was enough to piss all the left-wingers off. He was a member of a Catholic school, private Catholic school, wearing a MAGA hat in Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh.
And this Native American.
Looks like Elon Musk is going to file a suit against the ABC next.
Who?
He says if he was lying about him. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah. Well,
people are getting tired of this shit.
Yeah. But, and just because, the standard, the legal standard is they can, a lie that would be considered defamation against you and I wouldn't be one against Musk or a politician or an actor or actress because, they're famous. That's too, no, it should be a lie is a lie is a lie. Defamation is defamation is defamation. These people should not be allowed to get away with telling lies about individuals. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care if it's, I wouldn't have cared if it was Rush Limbaugh. I keep going back to him because he is the most famous of the conservative commentators, the biggest firebrand. But I don't care who it is. If you're out there spreading lies or telling lies about an individual. Now, if you're reporting, let's say I'm sitting here and I'm reading an article from MSNBC.
Okay.
All right. And I am reading an article in which contained inside that article is a lie. But I've got the article posted on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm merely reading the lie that MSNBC has out there.
Right.
Okay. I'm not the one while I may be technically spreading the lie.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm not doing it because I'm not spreading the lie intentionally, as in I know this is a lie and I'm going to spread it out there far and wide. I'm, not like Harry, Harry Sisson be over on TikTok, or he's more famous on TikTok than he is on YouTube, but he does have a YouTube channel. He recently got out there saying, well, a lot of Republicans are now regretting their vote for Trump.
No, we're not.
And it's like, okay, and what is your evidence that people who voted for Trump are now regretting that? Well, they're just regretting it.
Who?
Well, who? Name names. Tell us who's regretting. Well, all he now, is he lying? Yes. Is he lying about an individual? No. He's just out there saying people are, that he knows of people who are regretting their vote.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Now, he may well know one or two people who are, maybe I should have voted for Kamala, or maybe I should have voted for third party, or maybe I shouldn't have voted at all. Okay. There's always that one or two.
Right.
But to say that there's any vast numbers of people who voted for Trump are regretting their vote, I don't see it's out there. I don't see that happening. Give us a year. Then there may be some who are regretting their vote. Just like gave him a year after Biden was elected, and there were people out there who were, well, maybe I shouldn't have voted. There was people out there because they got asked, about the Hunter Biden laptop. If that laptop had been made public, would you have regretted your vote? Would you have voted otherwise? Well, yeah, there was sufficient numbers of people that had made that, had said that.
Yeah.
You all right?
I'm totally not hiccuping. I don't know what that was. It's okay. I'm good.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody goosed you there for a second.
No. Oh, no. It would have been a lot louder if it were that. Nobody's going to dare pull that with me.
Boy, I goosed the wife the other night, and she come up and, oh, boy, was she mad at me. She was madder than all get out.
Oh,
so, but precious. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. She is precious. Mm-hmm. She's just like every dog that's ever been named Precious. Spoiled rotten. My sister had a little white dog I called Punnable. And it was the size of a football being full grown. And that was its name, Precious. And that dog was just absolutely spoiled rotten.
Now,
and then she got
a dog in oh God, what was that serial killer movie? Silence of the Lambs, that fucking dog. Precious.
I don't remember a dog in Silence of the Lambs.
The victim in the pit took the dog and wouldn't give it back. And the guy was screaming, put the dog in the basket, and just screaming about his Precious. And yeah.
I probably need to watch that movie again. I haven't watched that.
That's a good holiday movie for the whole family.
Probably about 10 years.
Oh, wow. 39-year-old raw vegan influencer known for promoting a fruit-only diet has reportedly died from malnutrition after living on raw fruits and vegetables for 10 years.
Send that link over to me.
it's just Twitch, Twitter. Hold on a minute. I don't even know, man. Oh, this is.
Well, share it, and I will find you on.
I'm trying. Oh, harpy eagle, beautiful animal. Okay. I'm scrolling. This person's got a lot of animals on their feed. Okay.
Who's
Creepy. That's their name, Creepy.
okay?
This puppy that was born with one eye and two tongues. Oh yeah, that's definitely fucking creepy.
Oh. Okay, did you share it, Ramen?
No, I'm trying to find it now because I went directly to the person's things.
Oh,
now
okay.
Trying to find it. Now I got a bunch of horror movie clips, which hey, nothing wrong with it.
All right.
Has fucking A.
Let's see. Vegetarian dies. Let me see. Vegetarian dies.
Raw vegan influencer. Okay.
Found it. Found the story.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Boy, this woman is scrawny as hell.
It's like a skeleton with muscles.
All right, I'm getting ready to share it now.
Being freaking surprised.
I mean,
what did she think was gonna happen when she just started looking like that?
I mean, look at that.
Just started eating itself.
There's nothing there.
There's no fat at all. You know, you have no fat, your body will start eating its own organs and muscle and stuff, heart muscle, everything.
I mean, look, the problem is with this little body fat on her, you would think you could see her abdominal muscles, but
nope.
No.
Probably the first muscles to go.
39 years. Is that still shared? Yeah. Yep. Okay. 39-year-old, raw vegan influencer even.
Yes.
Fruit only died from malnutrition after living on raw fruits and veggies for 10 years.
No.
What's the community note say on this person? The official cause of death has not been disclosed. Zana's mother mentioned a cholera-like infection as a suspected cause, but also shared the extreme diet had taken a physical toll.
Of course it did.
Declining health was observed by friends and family, but there's no official cause yet. All right. Oh, this is a year old. This is a year old. Okay, according to the New York Post, Zana died of suspected starvation, which is clearly visible.
Suspected my ass.
Okay,
I had a neighbor that did that. Not the raw vegan diet. She just starved to death in her apartment. It's fucking awful. I'm trying. Crazy. I mean, you know, she's had a lot of weird shit before she died.
I'm trying to remember that one woman's name that she was internet famous a while back because she was a walking skeleton.
That vegan teacher?
No, not a vegan teacher. I don't think she was a vegan teacher, but she was just, she just, I think she had bulimia or something like that.
Okay.
And she actually suffered from some sort of an illness. And she just, like a walking skeleton. She knew she was sick.
Yeah.
But she was just the exact opposite of those mukbangers.
Okay.
But yeah, really, did she? My God, that poor woman. But anyway, okay, so let me share this here. This was one of the responses to the Trump, ABC and Trump.
To me, that with that language, with that quotation, ABC actually had a very strong case, but chose to settle. A settlement is not an admission of liability. It is instead an agreement to end the matter in the best interest of both parties. But
now, why would ABC, if ABC is wanting to settle the matter, a news network doesn't settle just to settle. Because the standard is so high to prove defamation from a news network. They don't settle just to settle.
They are agreeing to issue this statement of regret, which is not exactly an apology, but I do worry about the effect this could have on others and the chilling effect it might have on people who otherwise would be critical of Donald Trump.
You can be critical of Donald Trump. I'm going to be critical of Donald Trump. I've already been critical of Donald Trump. I've been critical of his Project 47 because he's got things in there that I strongly disagree with. First and foremost, increasing cops qualified immunity. I strongly, strongly disagree with that. But you can be critical without lying. You can be critical without defaming. You can be critical about a man or their plans or their policies without lying about him. That's easy to do, people. And any journalist worth their salt knows that. That's the problem with journalists today, though. They don't know how to be critical without lying. They've got no idea how to do it. Okay, you were going to say, Raman?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say something.
No, you'll know about saying something.
Prove defamation.
I'm not a shrinking violet.
Worry about the effect this could have on others and the chilling effect it might have on people who otherwise would be critical of Donald Trump.
To prove defamation, you have to prove that Stephanopoulos said something false and knew it was false. As Barb says, it's not even clear this was false.
Well, I mean, it's not clear as false. Rape is one thing. Sexual assault is something else. So to be guilty of sexual.
You may not know the law doesn't mean you're free from obeying it. Fuck that guy. Sorry.
One juror was hesitant about using rape, but rape or sexual assault equally well satisfied what they were having to find. And the judge did affirm this is what they were found. So, yes, I think they had a strong case. I'll say this with no basis whatsoever, but given the strength of the law and the fact that they were going to be deposing Trump in just a few days, and that's always something you want to do if you're on the other side of a lawsuit from him. He can be so erratic and inculpatory. I got to think that the ABC boardroom was involved in this decision somehow, and my big worry.
Of course the ABC boardroom was involved because they're the ones going to be responsible for ponying up the money. I mean, Stephanopoulos doesn't have $15 million sitting in his pocket. Well, yeah, he does, but he's not going to want to shell out $15 million out of his own personal pocket. And ABC isn't going to want to shell out $15 million out of their budget. I mean, hell, that's how much they spend on coffee every month. But no. But now, of course, the board got involved. $15 million is, I mean, it is to us a lot of money. Now, to ABC, it may not be a lot. To the government, it damn sure isn't a lot. But they still had to, I mean, understand that they could, that there was chances that they could have lost. Where I don't know where this suit was filed. Was it filed out of New York, or was it filed out of someplace more amenable to Trump, out of a red state? Because if it's filed out of New York, then that's right there in ABC's background. I mean, blue state heaven. But and as sad as it is, that's got a lot to where your filed charges at has a lot to do with how suits are decided. Unfortunately.
To put a finer point on what Barb is saying, is it is somehow caught up in the fact that he's going to be president soon.
Okay. So the rest of that is just reading stuff. But I mean, I'm happy. I'm anytime ABC, especially George Stephanopoulos, gets caught up and forced to even put out regrets that they misstated the truth, that makes me a happy man. Because it is ridiculously easy to be critical of someone and tell the truth without lying. It's ridiculously easy to report on somebody or something without lying. And it's even easy to only give one side of the story without lying. You can cherry pick. These guys can easily cherry pick because they do it. Which information they want to give out.
Yep.
To color that story any way they want to color it. And make it sound bad or good, however they want to do it for whichever side they want to make it sound like. All right, Digi. Well, you have a good day. Don't let them work you too hard. All right. Behave. Have a good one. Thanks for coming in this morning. Appreciate you. Oh, wow. We went from three people watching to one person watching.
No.
Yeah, Digi left it too, and someone left with them. Oh, well. It is what it is.
There we go. Let's click that like button.
Okay, let's see here. This is. I'm bringing up this story simply because. Everybody, there's a certain group of people here in the United States, in the West, in the Western world, that like praising and saying how fair and just and everything is in other parts of the world. So I'm going to show this story here. Iran arrests a YouTube singer for streaming a concert without hijab. This young lady right here, pretty young lady, an Iranian underground singer and her band members have been arrested for streaming a live performance on YouTube without wearing a hijab.
Yeah, that happens.
Don't even ask me how to pronounce her first name.
Parastu?
Okay.
Okay.
And her two band members were arrested from Mazandaran in northern Iran on Saturday, 3 days after she streamed the performance. There she is singing. I've got it muted so that we don't hear the music.
But
she's got a pretty voice.
She knows the laws of her own country. I'm not saying it's right, but she knew what would happen.
She was released a day later after questioning, and the judiciary said appropriate action would be taken against her and her production team. She performed on Wednesday on her channel on YouTube, which is blocked in Iran but can access through software to bypass the firewall. Clad in a black sleeveless dress and sporting a necklace in the shape of the map of Iran, she wore her long hair loose over her shoulders while performing with 4 band members. In the video, which got close to 2 million views, she sang folk tunes for 27 minutes. She called it an imaginary concert and invited her YouTube audience to imagine this beautiful homeland in Iran.
That is a woman who, despite all the problems there, loves her country.
Yep. Since the Islamic Revolution in 1979, Iran has enforced strict laws banning solo singing by women and mandating the public wearing of veils. Now, this is exactly why I'm bringing this up. All right. Women in the United States, for the past year and still today, sit here and saying that they are losing their rights.
Oh.
They're running around shaving their heads.
Yeah.
At least one woman that I read of did not have her tubes tied, but had her tubes taken out. Simply because she did not want to become pregnant over the next 4 years.
Well, if that's what she wants.
I mean, now she took a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There's multiple ways to not become pregnant over a 4-year time period. The easiest and most effective way is don't have sex. Okay? Don't have penetrative sex. All right? If you're going to have sex with a partner, restrict it to oral sex. Or in her case, lesbian sex. Whatever. There's multiple ways, but women, people in the United States are so free that they don't understand how free they have it, especially in comparison to these countries that they support overseas. I mean, you got these college kids running around supporting Gaza. Do any of them think that they would actually be able to live there?
Well, they're special, so of course they would. You know.
Here is a woman that was arrested for streaming.
Yeah, without her face covered. Yeah.
Without wearing a hijab. Streaming singing without wearing a hijab because it's illegal to sing in public. Banning solo singing by women. So then, even if she'd been wearing a hijab and sang, she could have been arrested.
Yeah.
These people don't understand.
Nope.
Exactly how good they have it here. First world problems.
Oh, yeah.
One day, and I hope it never, honestly, I hope it never happens. I truly hope and pray it never happens. But there's always the possibility of first world suddenly becoming third world.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think the people that are still suffering from Hurricane Helene, living in tents in Hurricane because they lost their homes in Hurricane Helene, aren't, their understanding what it's like not to have first world problems, but to have real world problems.
Those sound like real world problems.
Sorry,
I'm slurring a little. I'm just really dizzy and sleepy.
Oh, no.
I know I'm slurring just a little bit. No, it's not bad. My boy had me up all night, so.
Oh, okay. But then
deal with my oaks yesterday, so yeah.
No, back after Hurricane Michael, we didn't have power for 6 weeks. Solar generation and a generator is how we got whatever power we had for 6 weeks.
For 3 months.
Okay.
School started and we still had no power.
Then we had and people were going nuts because, oh my God, we don't have cell phone service. There is no cell phone service for 3 whole weeks. These people were going nuts.
I mean, in a way, I can kind of get that. You need to reach grandma who's over in the middle of hurricane country and you don't know if she's got her meds or she's okay or whatever. I can get being, stressed over that.
Well, I'm talking about the people stressed that they couldn't get on and,
play their cell phone games.
Yeah.
Screw those people.
Okay. It really made them mad, though, when Verizon had everything up for like 3 hours. And then one of the contract companies come down and cut their fiber optics.
Yeah.
But, cut it by accident, but they still cut it. And then as a AT&T group, accidentally cut the fiber optics. But if I remember right, it was AT&T. But anyway, but yeah, these people don't understand how sweet we actually have it here in the United States compared to other countries. I got into a discussion this weekend with a young lady.
Uh-oh.
All right, and basically she said, "Well, Christianity is the worst religion out there."
Really is.
Because of Christianity, it took until whenever it was for gays to be able to get married, and for this to happen and that to happen.
Lady, shut up.
And I'm sitting there saying, "Well, okay." And then she goes, "As you Republican Christians are the worst." So I first thing I had to do, of course, was remind her what that the Clintons,
blowing them off a roof, so it's it could be worse.
That the Clintons and Obama were all against gay marriages, and that they were barely for gay civil unions.
Right.
Okay. And then I told her, I said, if you've got a religion you want to be afraid of, and there's a couple of them out there that, you need to be afraid of here in the United, but Islam is the first one you need to be afraid of.
Yeah.
And she's like, but Islam is the religion of peace.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Woman, I don't know how old you are, but right now you reminded me that you're probably in your lower 20s.
Yeah, that's the religion where you go over to one of these countries and get assaulted, you can get up on death row for adultery. So yeah, you go ahead and keep believing that.
Well, what I told her to do is actually read reports, actual news reports from England and France about what happens there, since so much of the country is now Islamic. So much of England, so much of France is now Islamic. And then I told her, look up in Dearborn, and a couple of the cities here in the United States are majority Islam. And what is going on there? And I wish I'd lost I used to have an archive where I kept a bunch of links to news articles. And one of them was about a Christian group. I'm not particularly fond of as being reflective of Christians, but a Christian group who goes out proselytizing. Okay, that in itself is all and good. I can understand that. I appreciate that. That is our Great Commission. But they set up a booth in I can't remember if it was Dearborn or another city during a town event.
Oh Lord!
And the Muslims attacked them to the point that they were threatened with arrest if they did not leave the city by the local police department, because their mere presence was disturbing the peace.
Oh man.
Okay. And like I said, they're one of the more They're not quite as bad as the what's the name of that one group, Raman? The ones that protest at funerals. No, the ones that protest at funerals.
It's a church.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the church. I know what it is. Westboro Baptist.
Westboro, right. They're not, I mean, this group isn't as bad as Westboro, but it's only by matters of degrees. So, but yeah, I mean, there are those issues out there. So, I mean, we did have a pretty long talk about it and finally gave up. I mean, I finally gave up on her because, like I said, you know, she was just too young. She was just too young to really understand. Oh, now we're back up to 3 people watching. I wonder who's there.
Me, it's me all alone.
No, you and I don't count.
Aw. Religion of peace, yo.
Well, because you and I are part of the stream, the stream doesn't count us as viewers. So, oh, Neil's here. Okay.
Hey, man.
I wish you guys would at least say hey so I could recognize the fact that you're here. Or type in the letter 1 or 2 or something. Just hit something on the keyboard. Let us know that you're here.
Morning now.
Oh, driving? Okay. Another big story that popped up this week that we didn't have a chance to talk about because it popped up when I think it popped up Thursday night, so we didn't talk about it on Friday because of my Friday policies. Christopher Wray says he is resigning as the FBI director.
Oh, no. Whatever will we do?
Right. Well, he knew that he was gone when Kash Patel comes in anyway. But so Ray knew he was out. FBI Director Christopher Wray, who's been under attack from President-elect Donald Trump for the past few years, told FBI employees at a meeting Wednesday he would resign by the end of the Biden administration. My bet is on the morning of the 20th of January is when he's going to officially resign, or his resignation will become effective at 11:59 a.m. on the morning of the 20th of January. Because Trump doesn't officially become president until 12:01 p.m. on the 20th. So there'll be a 2-minute gap there where between his resignation and Trump becoming president. So he can honestly say that he resigned before Trump became president, you know. My goal is to keep the focus on our mission, the indispensable work you're doing on behalf of the American people every day, he told employees. In my view, this is the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray while reinforcing the values and principles that are so important in how we do our work. The FBI, for the past 10 years, 12 years, since the Obama administration, if not since the Clinton administration, has been in my personal opinion, a partisan machine. extremely partisan machine. The entire Department of Justice, but the FBI, the ATF, have been used to push left-wing agenda further and further and further down the line. Going after, FBI agents sent out to arrest a man whose son was attacked by a pro-abortion supporter in front of an abortion clinic. A man and his son were standing there silently praying on the public street in front of an abortion clinic. A pro-abortion man come by and attacked his son. The man stepped in and defended his son. The FBI sends out a group of people to do an early morning raid on his house, pointing guns in his wife's and children's faces in order to arrest him. The way the FBI arrested Stone, early morning raided his house, and somehow or another, CNN managed to get a tip off that that was going to happen. The FBI coming up with pulling people off of cases involving kiddie porn to investigate parents who are mean at their school board meetings.
Oh. Well, you know what they say about bullies. Just ignore them and they'll go away. They need to take their own advice.
The FBI infiltrating the Catholic Church in Virginia. Paying people to spy. Hey, Josh, good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
The FBI paying people to spy on Catholic Church members, on priests and members of the Catholic Church. You know, I can't remember the last time a Catholic church incited a riot or declared a religious war on somebody. Or against a group of people. I simply don't remember the last time that happened in the past 2 centuries. I mean, you've got to go back a few centuries to find issues like that within the Catholic Church. And a lot of that's up for discussion on exactly what had happened, because so much was lost into history. Yeah, I would say so, Josh. I would say you've got that right. So I'm not worried about Wray stepping down. Now, Wray may be hoping that he gets one of these blanket pardons from Biden. Because I've got a feeling that he's got some skeletons hiding in his closet that when Patel takes over.
Probably.
that unless records are conveniently lost, computer records are just accidentally deleted, there's probably going to be some issues. So, but anyway, that's then there's the people stepping in here saying, well, Ray, you were appointed to a 10-year term. And they're sort of misunderstanding this 10 years that the FBI director is appointed to. It is a 10-year maximum term. It's not like a president's 4-year term or a Congress critter's 2-year or 6-year term. A maximum FBI director can sit in that job is a total of 10 years. And the reason for that is they don't want another J. Edgar Hoover. Because he had so much, he sat in that office in charge of the FBI for so many years. He had so many skeletons. He knew where all the skeletons were buried.
Right.
And that's why he got away with a lot of the stuff that he got away with. Because he was so powerful that he could tear down just about anybody who crossed him. So, that would be interesting. So, they don't want anybody building that power base again. And I'm surprised that it's even allowed to be 10 years. But that's what Congress made it, so that's what it is. Okay, I do not want that. We've all heard about all these drones for this past week and a half, 2 weeks, coming up and down the seaboard. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. Excuse me. And there's nobody in our government seems to know exactly what's causing them, what they are, where they're from, or anything else. And some of these drones have been described to be the size of school buses or vans. Maybe they're talking about short buses. I don't know. But during every interview, presser given out by administration officials, they deny all knowledge of what. For a while, they were saying that the drones weren't even there, that people imagination. Well, then so many videos and photographs got taken of them that they had to come out and admit to them. Admit that they're there, but they've got no clue what's causing them. Now, I do not endorse this man because, again, just because he's in Congress, that doesn't mean he knows what the hell he's talking about.
Exactly.
Okay?
Or 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be very blunt.
Whoops. I was listening to this at twice speed earlier.
We have a serious problem with our airspace. The recent sightings of unidentified drones in the state of New Jersey, my home state, is justifiably causing tremendous public concern. These drones are large, they're sophisticated. We don't know for sure who's controlling them, and the FAA's current capabilities cannot even locate them on radar.
That deal with the FAA not being able to locate them on radar, that may be because their radar is not, it's designed to pick up aircraft. You know, a certain size, because again, radar was one of my systems I maintained when I was in the Air Force on the F-15. And the radar had to have discrimination circuits built into it in order to, the radar system and discrimination circuits built into them in order to prevent every little thing that bounced back a signal from being counted as a potential target. Excuse me, I didn't want you guys to hear me cough there. One conspiracy that the Bidens, Obama 3 admin their buddy China. Josh, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What's going on with these? But the FAA circuits are not necessarily designed to pick up items this size or things that are not moving. Remember, the way radar works is off of it sends out a signal. All right, drop a pebble into a sink full of water. You see the little ripples coming out. Well, if there's something in the way of that ripple and it sends that signal back, that's what the radar system is going to pick up as a potential target. Well, if the drone is just sitting there in one place or it's moving very slowly, its reflection is not going to send back enough of a signal that's going to get past the discriminatory circuits to show up on the screen. It's not going to do it because the circuits are there. I mean, the FAA doesn't want their systems picking up every flock of birds that goes flying by. In fact, on radar systems, if you get false targets, they're called birds. So that's why my guess as to why the FAA is not picking these guys up, these drones up on their screens.
We have a hole in our monitoring systems, and we have a hole in our radar currently. And the truth is, whether people want to hear it or not, we are vulnerable. Our government has failed to effectively regulate our drone industry, and this is not an isolated incident or an isolated phenomenon. Unidentified drones are running across the country. And let me be blunt and again say it how it is. Foreign drone technology, particularly China, is a full decade, 10 years ahead of where we are. That is unacceptable in America. We are number one. We've always been number one, but we're not now. And they can take, and they intend.
We're number one. No, we're not number one. We should be number one, but we're not number one.
And to take full advantage of our vulnerabilities. I've learned, for real, that there is circumstantial evidence that there's an Iranian mothership off the east coast of the United States.
Now, this is where I am not taking this guy. I'm not endorsing what this guy is saying at this point. okay, about this Iranian mothership. Because it's that's been denied by the government. But then, since when can we trust everything that our official spokespeople say? You know, since when can we trust what our these, you know, KJP or any of these people tell us during pressers? Thank you, Josh. I taught radar systems for years to newbies when I was in the Air Force and how they work. Yeah, you've got paint that can absorb the radar signal. And then the design, I mean, can reduce the size of the signal being reflected back by the physical design of the drone. So there's a lot of different ways to make something quote unquote invisible to radar. Yeah, you know, messing with the discriminatory circuits. You're right about that, you know, or the software that applies to the discriminatory circuits. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Low, and not all of it is high tech. Believe me, not all of it's high tech. But this guy wants to say it's Iranian mothership out there doing it. You got people out there saying it's an underwater alien base causing it. You got one guy this weekend I even heard come out and say that there is a part of NASA doing mapping air roadways for flying vehicles, you know, flying cars. And that because NASA reports to the vice president, which is Kamala, that's why nobody's being told anything about it, because Kamala's keeping it a secret as a way of getting at Trump. Yes, somebody actually said that this is all, that the fact that this, you know, Kamala ordered NASA to do this and ordered them to keep their mouths shut so that they could screw over Trump some way or another.
Wait, Kamala ordered NASA to do what?
That Kamala has NASA mapping future air roadways for flying cars.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And because the NASA reports to Kamala, she's doing this, you know, and keeping it a secret as a way of getting at Trump.
What does Trump have to do with flying cars?
Well, what it is, you know, it's something dealing with the national security morning briefs. And Trump isn't playing their games when it comes to the security briefs. The drones are turning the freaking frogs gay. Yes.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean, the crazies are coming out over these drones. Now, do I think there's something to be concerned about here? Hell yes. I honestly believe there's something to be concerned about. And I honestly do believe that the government should be, well, they should have already, if they have not already, and we just don't know about it, which is always probable, taking some of these down. You know, quite unlike what they did to the Chinese spy balloons. And, you know, do I wish the government was being honest with the American people as to what the hell's going on to end all of this speculation? And face it, if they don't come out and tell us something here soon, people are going to start shooting at anything they see flying.
Okay.
That gummit, I'm going to bring one of these things down if the government don't. I'll find out what's going on. I'll bring this fucker down. And they'll end up shooting a private aircraft and killing someone. Or they may bring down one of these drones and crash it into somebody's house or on a busy freeway or highway or neighborhood. So the government needs to get their act together here. Because right now, people are at the beginning stages of getting scared. Oh, that's good, Josh. I like that. It could be the gay frogs are bringing the drones in.
Oh my gosh.
But we're so used to this administration not doing squat when we honestly believe they should be. Josh, anytime you don't know, anytime the American people or anytime people anywhere don't know what in the hell's going on, and they're seeing things, and the government's coming out and first denying and then saying, well, we don't know for weeks on end or days on end. I mean, or not Orwell. All right, I hate this when I draw a mental blank. Orson Welles. Orson Welles tapped into it with his Halloween radio show, the invasion of the Martian invasion.
The day the Earth stood still?
No.
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. Orson Welles tapped into that, and look at the furor he caused right then and there.
Oh my God.
Just a radio show.
Yeah.
The American people, we're not that different from those American people. Yeah, we're more aware of more things because more technology is available to us. I mean, he was just doing a radio show and scared the hell out of half the country.
Uh-huh.
Well, right now we've got people taking pictures and video of stuff going on at night, and the government first tried to deny it was happening and then turn around saying we don't know what's happening. Well, why don't you know?
Right?
We've got an Air Force. We've got an Army. We've got Army with helicopters. We have Navy with helicopters. You've got ways of going out there and finding out what in the hell's going on with these drones. You can shoot them down. You can drop nets on them. There's 101 things you can do. You can go out there and try jamming their signals. If this 65-year-old fart sitting here can figure out a half a dozen ways of bringing down a drone without having civilians on the ground shooting at them, I'm sure our military intelligence, well, an oxymoron, well, no, our military intelligence could be doing the same damn thing. There's ways they could have this done. And to have, and I'm sorry, but this Representative Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey, I'm sure your heart's in the right place. But to say you've got information that these are from Iranian mothership.
They're from high, good sources, individuals who are reputable, individuals who speak with authority, unfortunately are concerned with identifying who they are at this point. We were saying this, but this is true. It's unacceptable and it's frightening, and our government has to act. And I say this not only as a member of Congress from the state of New Jersey, but I say this as someone who loves America like we all do who are in this room.
Do we really want to say as Iranian motherships? But would it be any believable if he said it was a Russian or Chinese or North Korean?
No, I don't know, man.
Here's one of the pictures. This is from CNN. This is Lebanon Township, New Jersey, December 5th. AP reporter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11. I'm assuming these here are house lights. Not this one, because you can definitely see that's a tree behind it. Mysterious possible drone sightings. But shooting at drones is dangerous and illegal, may bring unintentional consequences. People aren't going to be, they're not going to give a damn about unintentional consequences if they don't find out what's going on.
Right?
You're going to get some redneck. Okay. I mean, if this honestly, if this is over Alabama, Georgia, West
This would be a
Virginia,
whole different conversation.
yeah, this would be a different conversation. New Jersey's gotten pretty tight on gun control. But if this is over West Virginia, yeah, Georgia, Carolinas, we'd be talking about a whole different story. People will be out there in their lifted pickup trucks praying to get a sight on them so they can start shooting at them. And some of these old boys have got 50 calibers. Now, this has been going on since November. While I understand the frustration that mystery drones may cause, taking matters in private hands by firing at drones creates significant dangers. Shooting down a drone could essentially turn it into a missile, and a large drone crashing on land could cause severe property damage and injury. Smith's comments echo those of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, the man who ought to be in jail, who told CNN's Wolf Blitzer on Friday that attempting to shoot down possible drones in the skies in and of itself could be dangerous. Well, of course it's going to be. That would be dangerous. Mayorkas and FBI officials said they believe many of the suspected drone sightings are actually manned aircraft being misidentified by civilians. They have no evidence of threat posed or foreign involvement. So, I mean, they're telling people don't shoot at them, but what the hell's going on? Try telling Billy Joe Bob not to shoot at something.
I'm sorry.
Tell Ellie Mae not to shoot at something.
Oh my God.
Tell Jethro not to shoot at something. He's going to shoot at just to tell you that he did. And don't forget, them bullets go up, they got to come down. And there's been more than one case where somebody's been hit by a falling bullet.
Yeah.
A drone shot down over a forest could start a wildfire, for instance.
Oh, man.
Okay. There's a lot of problems that could come from shooting down these drones. But if the government doesn't do something soon to let people know what the hell's going on, they're not going to give a rat's patoot about it. I mean, the guy's going to be standing there saying, "Yee-haw! I done got me one of these enemy drones." Yeah, Neil? I grew up in Ohio out on the country, and I've had during hunting season, we made certain that, every now and again a stray bullet would come across the fields and hit the house or the barn. And I mean, we didn't bother calling the cops or anything about it. I mean, it's like, as long as it's just a stray bullet.
Well, snitches get stitches.
So yeah, I just want to see the government come out and be honest with us for a change. Tell us what the hell's actually going on. Well, they've got to. This is getting scary. This is getting nervous. Now, Raman, you sent me a video.
I'm always sending you videos.
But you see, you sent me one that YouTube blocked.
Oh, what the hell?
Or not YouTube blocked, but X blocked.
That's
Said it
weird.
was a questionable or suspect link.
Fine. I don't even know.
So I went back and followed it. I want to say it's one of your Penta. What the hell's the name of that band you follow?
Pentatonic. I don't follow them. I just like some of their Christmas music.
Right. I think it was Pentatonic's video.
Yeah.
That you sent me, probably. So.
It's weird.
Let's see here. Okay. Actually, now Google Alert, the link you are trying to access has been identified by X or our partners as being potentially spammy or unsafe.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Okay. It was, I got no rare exports, 10 years old fun movie.
Oh, it might have been the trailer or the IMDb link. I don't know. Rare Exports was Christmas horror, but it was a good movie. I kept saying it was special delivery, but that wasn't. It was Rare Exports. Sorry.
There was the one before something about there's something in the barn.
Yeah. Oh, there's something in the barn is good too.
There's always something in the barn. Remember, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
There's always something. There's always something in the barn.
It's an American family. They inherited a property in Norway. They moved there. And oh my God, it's so fucking funny.
Oh, by the way, Grok is now free for everyone on X.
What the hell is Grok? I don't know.
So. Okay, Raman, I can't hear you. You are really breaking up bad.
What's Grok?
Grok is X's AI.
Oh.
GROK. That's X's AI assistant.
I thought it was like a barbarian buddy, like an AI friend or something. I don't know.
So, I don't know if you watched Monkey's stream the other night where he went over that CNN video of the Syrian they found in an abandoned Syrian jail, or some prisoner they found in an abandoned Syrian jail.
What happened with that? I haven't been up on streamers. I've been watching a lot of random stuff to go to sleep to. So.
But that CNN video is getting bashed everywhere as being faked.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of the points that Monkey made about it.
The abandoned building footage is
the guy no food or water for 3 days. And he throws up food that he put in his mouth 30 seconds earlier. No poop or anything in the jail cell with him.
Right.
He's been in there for 3 days and he hasn't pooped or peed for 3 days.
Right.
He's been in there at least 3 days. And even though you haven't been fed for 3 days, you still poop and pee.
Right. Right.
And his clothes being nice and clean. Looks like his beard is freshly, been freshly clipped. Same way with his hair. What got me was how clean his clothes were.
Yeah.
Even though he's been sleeping on the floor for 3 days. I'm sorry, but even though I mop my kitchen floor twice a week, my water comes up disgustingly brown every time I mop the floor, from dirt coming in.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me this guy has slept on a dirty floor for 3 days and his clothes look nice and clean and he's got no dirt on his face. But yeah, a lot of people are tearing that apart. It's getting a lot of traction as being garbage. So, let's see what else has been. That's really about all I've got. AOC blaming Trump for the United Healthcare CEO's murder.
Of course. Of course, it's Trump's fault.
And
that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. I mean, I wouldn't. If you want him to fail, don't blame him for that.
This is how desperate the House Democrats are to more than 120 House Democrats sent a letter to Biden urging him to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. A coalition of more than 100 lawmakers wrote a letter on Sunday urging Biden to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment, which would outlaw gender discrimination in the Constitution. All right, now see, there's a problem with this, though. And I don't have it at my fingertips, but when there's a time limit on ratifying on adding an amendment to the Constitution. There is an actual time limit. I didn't realize I was going to talk about this, or else I would have pulled that up. Okay. The amendment was approved in the House in 1971. The Senate in 1972. We're talking 50 years ago. As of January 27, 2020, the ERA has satisfied the requirements under Article 5 of the Constitution for ratification after Virginia became the necessary 38th state to ratify the ERA. It took them almost 50 years. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can do a quick search here. How long does an amendment have to ratify to change? Let's see if that'll find me something. I'm looking real quick here to see if there's a time limit. I don't care about the Canadian Constitution.
Nobody does.
Right. Okay, got an article right here. The 18th, 20th to 26th Amendments, as well as the ERA and DC voting rights outdated, including time limits to their ratification. The time limit clauses vary in shape. All right, so let's see here, find if there was one to for the ERA, if there was a time limit for the ERA. It doesn't say. But I mean, you don't want a proposed amendment to the Constitution to sit out there for 50 freaking years. Because face it, in that time, a state may vote to say no. I mean, you got 38 states voted to ratify this. Okay. Well, over a 50-year time period, a state may say, you know, looking back at that amendment, we disagree with it now. We want to withdraw our support for that amendment. Or that amendment is a worthless amendment because there's already laws in place. That amendment is nothing more than an amendment to look pretty, you know, much like the national anti-lynching law that they just passed a few years ago. Murder, I mean, lynching someone is killing someone. Okay. Murder is illegal, whether you lynched them, electrocuted them, shoot them, or beat them over the head until they're dead. So, but yeah, when I read that article the other day, I sat there and just started laughing. You know, this is how desperate the Democrats are to have something in Joe Biden's administration for them to cling to besides corruption. Well, he signed the ERA amendment to the Constitution. Yeah. Got you covered, my friend. Got you covered. Anyway. All right, Rami, you got anything you want to say before we head out the door?
I don't even know, man. Don't take Benadryl before you join a stream. Dude, I am so fucking confused right now.
Oh, really?
And I didn't even take too much because it didn't work the first time. I'm gonna be dead.
Man, I screwed up.
What? What?
I can't believe it. Yeah, me. I screwed up.
Well,
no.
Tony can get all those calls from those insurance places that were lying, saying they're gonna offer me grocery coupons and free grocery vouchers and some kind of ID and all this other stimulus checks and all this stuff. Yeah, so I don't have insurance, y'all know. Okay, so they were like, you afford $59 a month? I was like, $59 is fine, but they were trying to so I can't afford that. So, okay, you can afford $59 a month, great, we're signing you up. Okay. I just got a letter yesterday from my ex-mail already, and they say like, you owe us $800 if we want payment immediately. Like, I didn't sign up for any $800 insurance for this thing, I did, so I got a lot of phone calls to make later. I got an $800 one night, I want to know monthly payment, but I have a copay of $1,200 if I see a doctor, and $1,600 if I get this done, and $1,800 for that. It's all just basic stuff you'd expect. But, oh my God, then they go to the diamond, that's $1,000 to me, and I better not get sick. I'll go bankrupt. No.
Now, where I screwed up was the okay, this is Monday. I'm doing my infusion, right? And it takes about 45 minutes per syringe.
Right. Now,
Oh.
did you get to Monday?
Well, I started real early this morning.
Okay.
I was able to start real early this morning.
Okay.
And a half hour ago, or about almost an hour ago, the syringe I had going finished. And I thought it was my last one, so I just blocked everything off. I just looked at my kitchen table, and there's another syringe sitting over there waiting to go into the machine.
Well,
So
you just
rather being done now, to where I could unplug and pull out all these needles and get about my day, I got another half hour, 45 minutes of sitting around here with these needles stuck in me.
Okay, it could be worse. It could always be worse. You might have plugged the wrong thing in there.
So, well, I take everything off the table when I'm doing these, because I do not.
To chill.
Yeah, but I got things I want to do.
Then you watch all those YouTube shorts I've been sending.
We've got a Christmas party at work this Friday, and I'm not going to be able to attend, so I'm just going to bake a bunch of bread and such and send in. So, bake bread. And the wife got me some pretty neat molds that I'm going to try to use. So that could be interesting to see how they turn out. I may put food coloring in their Christmas molds. I may put red and green food coloring into them, and then put the bread dough on top. So, but yeah.
I couldn't find in the store Panettone, man. I used to love that.
The party's on the Christmas party's on Friday, and I've got to make lasagna pasta.
For the wife,
for the wife. So, I'm going to be spending. I would much rather make the wife happy and have her pasta all ready for her than go out to a Christmas party for an hour.
I hear you.
Especially since the party's at 2:00 in the afternoon at work. That means there's no alcohol or anything there. And I'm the oldest person by 30 years there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just sort of out of place. So, but anyway, all right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Everybody have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Stay out of trouble. If you can't stay out of trouble, have as much fun getting out of it as you did getting into it.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with.
Bye, y'all. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.